All right, we're back with a little short edition here for a little week two recap, we'll call it. Just rolled through week one. Hopefully, everyone enjoyed a little briefer or brief, um,
Hmm.
yeah, recap, I should say, than typical. But I always like to get in here. I'm going to share this again with you, so that way we can be looking at the same thing. But always like to scrutinize some of the waiver bad bids, or just at least go over them. So. Um, this is actually I'll go up here. It's weird enough. I don't know if anyone bid, I guess, with mine because mine's not showing on here. But
Mhm.
anyways, let's go here. Steve, my God. Guess he didn't really was panicking as well with his 130 point performance because he was the only guy to bid on Cedric Tillman. Um, which is interesting. 33 fab bid, which is about a third of his fab dollars. So goodbye. Hopefully, Cedric Tillman is someone that you're going to play, Steve. We'll get into the week two, kind of preview here just to see if that's something that you're throwing in or not. I didn't even look. This is I thought was interesting. Just hot on this guy's trail. I mean, they still have Njoku, and it's the Browns, but two Cleveland players go to the highest bids this week. Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling State, I believe, is where he's from, or Bowling Green. I'm sorry, Bowling Green.
Mhm.
Um, gets five managers to bid on him, and just an astronomical number by the Ironman, $27. Um, Outbid the highest bidder by 16. Next closest was Rick with 11. Did like him. Did think. I mean, it was interesting how they were using him. I mean, he was in the backfield. They had him out as a receiver. They had him in the line. So he's definitely kind of like a gadget tight end. So it's interesting and not in the gadget type of way where Taysom Hill is, but he is playing for Cleveland. So I mean, I don't know how many mouths Joe Flacco can feed in fantasy, but we shall see. I thought this guy was going to get a lot more bidding. The Geese actually picked him up, which I thought was interesting. Just based off of need, I would have thought Snyder would have put some fab towards Hollywood losing Worthy and having Mahomes as kind of a stack, but only $9. Geese scoop him up. Um, Feel free to chime in on any of the first three here. I guess those are the highest bid dollars, like really the only substantial ones I would say that are worth talking about.
No, for sure. I mean, it's very very surprising to see those high numbers for Fannin Jr. and Cedric Tillman. I mean, and as you can see, nobody bid for Cedric Tillman at all, so which is very interesting. I'm not saying it's a bad pickup per se for
I'd agree.
anybody to add any of these guys, but like yeah, I was very surprised to see the usage rate for Harold Fannin Jr. because Njoku, when healthy, is one of the better tight ends in football. I
Agreed.
think.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm biased because I haven't had him before, but I mean, he looks the part and like he's definitely a great tight end. So it's very interesting how and he had a role. I mean, you can't argue with the stats that Fannin Jr. But I will say proceed with caution. It could be a situation like an Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely last year, first game
Yep.
of the season, I believe against Kansas City, he goes for 111 yards, right? And then yeah, it goes off. And then the next year, I was looking at the game log of that because I was trying to compare it because like they had Andrews already, and he's there. They had Njoku and Fannon's there, like coming in, and they use him a little bit differently, like you said, out of the backfield or whatnot. But like then next week, he had three catches for 26 yards, and then a catch for 4 yards. So you really can't if you're getting this guy, yes, he's a nice bench piece to hold on to, but you really I wouldn't you can't feel confident starting him as your tight end every week if that was the case. I'm not saying I mean he's starting Hunter Henry, so like I don't think
Yep.
he's doing it, but it's very weird. It's very very interesting to see the high numbers. I mean maybe he has a role and a consistent role. I mean it remains to be seen. But yeah, definitely very shocking to see those numbers. I would have thought Hollywood Brown would have
Yep.
like that type of $27 to me wouldn't be a bad option because like hey Worthy's out, this
Yep.
guy is I think the number one guy now and he went off, so like I mean I feel like
100%.
Brown, it's definitely a great pickup again by the Geese. I think he's got a really good team, I think, and that just adds another bench, stays healthy. Hollywood Brown could be a player, sure, but like everyone else has been pretty self-explanatory with the bids. But yeah, definitely interesting. I agree with you.
Yeah, it was fun to look at. I always enjoy seeing, Wednesday morning just what transpired in terms of fab bids and obviously from the laptop it's nice you can kind of see what everyone else bid. Obviously, from the
Yeah.
app you can't really do it, but all right,
Mhm.
let's get into a quick little week two little preview here. I mean, we don't have to run through players as much, maybe just kind of look at the matchups as it is, maybe see if these guys have any decisions to be made. But let's go over let's look at this one here. We got Ship Blizzard. Um, Wow, very lopsided in terms of projections. Projections have been all over the place. I'll say that. I mean, even
Yeah.
some of my players have moved up and down, a range of like 8 points. It just makes no sense. So I don't think Yahoo's figured it out just quite yet. But um, I just take a look at these players real quick and just kind of see. I mean, I
Wow.
definitely love some of Snyder's matchups. I will say that just kind of looking. I mean, CD's going to have a bounce back. I think Nico Collins, same thing. Um, Mahomes going to have a tough one though. At least they're home, but yeah, you're right. He's not. He's gonna keep Hunter Henry in the lineup for another week. To your point,
Mhm.
Jacoby Myers does get the nod so far in
Yeah.
his flex spot, and not too many decisions really to be made over on Rick's side. I mean, it looks like he flip flopped what? Well, George Kittle obviously.
Yeah.
Did he play Diggs last week? He probably had to. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm. Yep.
so yeah, really pretty straightforward lineup here. I mean, I think this is a lot closer than what the projections are showing, just based off. I mean, we're talking about a 13-point swing here. I mean, Snyder getting projected 127 is a little bit outrageous, I think. I mean,
Huh.
we only had one guy put up 130 this week, this past week. I know it was kind of a low scoring week one, but I don't know. This is going to be tight. I mean, I don't think there's too many decisions really to be made on either side. These are the lineups for sure.
Yeah.
Just kind of looking at the benches here. Man, this is a close one. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna stick with Rick. I think Rick keeps on rolling. I mean, I think Lamar has a little bit tougher matchup, but he's home. I could see some bounce backs from like Devontae and Jonathan Taylor probably regresses, but I'm sure he'll still get into double digits. I mean, against Denver, and I mean Diggs. I think he's gonna have a nice little bounce back. He didn't do too much. I don't know. This is gonna be close. I mean, who do you like?
Yeah, definitely going to be close. I'm going to go with actually Iron Man here, just because I feel like Nico Collins, you can't go anywhere else but up after that terrible performance. I mean, we talked about Miami having their terrible performance. I mean, Texans are right behind them, and they looked
Yeah.
awful. And I'm very surprised. CJ Stroud needs to get it together for sure, and like Nico
Yep.
Collins. But I feel like they could. I mean, they're going to have to. I just feel like Nico Collins is too talented to get 4 or 5 points. I mean, like he'll definitely. I mean, everyone's going to say that. Like for any stud that like had a terrible game week one, like Jamar Chase or Nico Collins, Brian Thomas Jr., whatever. Like everyone's going to be like, all right, have the positive mindset of like, yeah, the next week can't be any much worse than it was week one. I think optimistically he'll have a better game, and an extra day of rest, I guess. From they play on Monday, so just
Yep.
he'll have to bounce back. I mean, I love Josh Jacobs. And Thursday night spot, at home, they'll probably try to establish the run a little bit more. I think maybe in the Thursday night game, short week. And of course, Brees Hall looking like I feel like maybe a steal in the fourth round. I'm surprised he dropped to the fourth round. I actually thought you were going to draft him on the third. You went receiver again with Devontae. I was like, oh, maybe you were going to be your RB1. But I was
Yeah.
surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, certainly thought of them. I mean, it was just in the sense that like, there's just teams you don't want stock in necessarily. I mean, you just don't know what they're going to produce. And Brees Hall was pretty disappointing last year. I mean, I did expect a better year because contract year and some of the things they were saying that he was saying, just about kind of seemed to be more motivated. You just never know with the Jets. And I mean, they did more to come. I mean, no offense to Sny, but
Mhm.
um, they still are the Jets at the end of the day. But yeah, I think this is going to be this. I don't think this might have been the matchup of the week. I'm not even sure, but I think this is going to be a tight one for sure.
Mhm.
Um, Here we go. Let's go to Arby's and Steve, the fantasy football team. Another close projection one here. I mean, let's see. Is he playing? Well, I guess Tillman was. I mean, yeah, he picked up Danny Dimes too. I did see that. That was
Wow.
interesting.
Yeah,
I mean, no chance he's really going to play. Danny Dimes maybe on an off week where Josh Allen has a bye, but I mean, you got Josh Allen. the MVP. I don't think you're really going to be playing Danny Dimes over him. But anyways, I mean, just kind of, I guess, ditch dead weight off of his bench and put a couple guys on there. I think Neighbors and Drake London. I have Drake London and shares in another league, and it sounds like he's going to play this week. Started practicing. Neighbors, I think the same thing. Um, Travis Hunter is, I mean, he's still gonna, I mean, basically rolling out the same lineup as last week, which didn't do too bad for him considering it. He put up, freaking 130. He did
Yeah.
put he did put I think a couple dollars on Green Bay. Or no, actually no, he didn't put it. I'm sorry. He scooped Green Bay like right after that Parsons trade.
Yeah.
Um, so nothing really there in terms of it. I mean, I didn't really make any moves necessarily. I mean, it looks like he's gonna, I mean, Fields plays Buffalo, so maybe he's a little bit worried about that. I mean, that's certainly a thought process as a QB spot. And um, I mean, I think he's probably considering not playing Pacheco. I mean, he just kind of flip-flopped him just based off of lineup and moved him down to his flex.
Yeah.
I don't read too much into that, but it does typically tell you that he's more confident with these two guys than Pacheco. So um, I could see Keon Coleman getting slotted up there. And then, I mean, it's interesting. I mean, a lot of stock in this kid, and I hope he is going to be good, Matthew Golden. But
Yeah.
just I think they spread it out too much for you to take him in the fifth round.
Yeah.
Not to say he's not talented. I think he's going to be potentially their number one. But I don't think the number one in Green Bay means as much as a number one in most teams, just based off of how much they spread it out. So tight one here. I mean, I'd like to say Arby's because I want to see Steve lose one. So, um, but I gotta go Steve. I mean, Josh Allen is just too much for me to look past.
Yeah, true. Definitely a coin flip too. Like you said, Josh Allen's like, he just put up 40 points at home against like a very talented Baltimore team. I feel like obviously bounce back candidate, like I said earlier for Jamar Chase, hopefully can bounce back a little bit against a weak Jacksonville defense. But yeah, like you said too, like Pacheco right now in his flex, I mean, he probably should consider maybe starting Keon Coleman, but obviously if Josh Allen finds him, maybe it offsets a little bit of his points, but he's still going to get points on the ground, and he obviously is a threat at the goal line. So this is tough. This is a tough choice. I mean, I think just I don't want to be a contrarian and always go against what you're saying. I mean, I just maybe I go with Ben just because like I maybe get Jamar Chase going. Jamar Chase maybe he's gonna have a 25-point performance. Maybe he bounces back and gets to his projection. And like I said, it's a coin flip. I don't really like projections too much. Like you said, the other Snyder's projections were insane. Jacoby Myers was projected like 18.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
know he just had 17, but like I mean, I wouldn't start projections that high. But I guess for full point PPR, you kind of have to maybe. But like I don't know. I feel like it's just like he's got to get that flex. I mean, Pacheco definitely not a great start for him. Obviously last week, and Henderson's obviously an unknown commodity. I obviously had week one, he had a decent game. I guess for fantasy wise, with getting double figures isn't bad. But I feel like he'll bounce back. But it's a coin flip. I mean, I don't feel confident either way because obviously Steve has some good players on his side as well. But yeah, just like the RB situation, second RB, Aaron Jones wasn't really
Yeah.
Jordan Mason like was getting like some of the work. I mean, I didn't expect it to be a split like that, but it seemed like it was. So maybe it takes away a little bit from his value as well. Travis Hunter plays a lot more snaps on the defensive side of the ball. Maybe his projections, he's not going to reach 14. I don't think if he's going to be on defense a lot. They might not involve him as much on offense.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how that plays out. I mean, that was a good point with Aaron Jones. I mean, obviously he gets, we know, we know how much of a burst he kind of has and hands in terms of receiver, being a longtime Packer fan, obviously, and getting so many years with him in terms of just watching that guy play. I love him, but Jordan Mason, there's a reason they went out and got him as a backup, and they know that Aaron Jones is not necessarily the most rock solid guy in terms of injuries. So I think they're definitely going to kind of split that backfield. Jordan Mason ran the ball pretty well the times he got the rock. So you're right. I don't know if I necessarily love him as my RB2, but I think there's just. I mean, you got to be confident with the rest of his lineup. I mean, it's got some pretty good guys in some bounce back spots. Yeah, this one's gonna be tight. The Cincinnati Jacksonville game is gonna make or break. I think this matchup for either side. So Yeah, we'll split there.
Hmm.
It's good. It's a good start.
Hmm.
Here we go. Let's go your matchup. I'm sure you kind of looked at it a little bit more. Go ahead and then I'll give my take. I haven't really looked at this yet. So,
Yeah,
yeah, take it
yeah.
away.
I got you. Yeah, no, I mean, actually, I mean, going into the draft, after the draft, I like Colombian White's team. I like this the way he drafted. He got off to a good start with his draft. I thought, um, but at the same time, it's like it's tough to say because I mean he's got guys on his side that could go off. Obviously, Hurts he's a guy that could take away from Saquon a little bit with like he's getting getting those tush push touchdowns. You know what I mean? Kind of takes away from Saquon a little bit, but there really wasn't an issue like that last year for Saquon. He still went off. So it's like tough to say. I like Mike Evans on his side as well. I like Kieran. I like Bijan. Obviously, he's got Keenan Allen, a guy that wouldn't expect to get that many points as right now as flex. So I mean, not a bad call after his week one performance. I mean, I'm just gonna go with myself because obviously, I mean, it's tough to pick against yourself unless your team is depleted or is terrible. But I like the way that my team performed the week one, and I'm hopeful that they keep it up. I picked up Dallas's defense to start. Um, Bid for them, even though defenses are kind of strange, but they play the Giants. The Giants did not look that great. Dallas is home, so
Mhm.
it's like it's not I don't want to overthink things as well. I bid $2, so it's like just looking at like lineup choices. I mean, that's the only move that I made differently from last week. Arizona plays Carolina. I dropped them because I have Chuba and I want Chuba to fucking go off. So I was like, you know what, I can't really tempt fate here. So yeah, I'll go with myself. And I'm expecting Cincinnati to bounce back. Obviously, like I have a better offensive
Sure.
performance, so Burrow can get more than 10 points like he did last week, and then hoping that Tyreek does the same and Miami can get it together as well.
Yeah, no, I think that's those are some good takeaways. I mean, I think a lot of guys are hoping for some bounce back weeks for guys that kind of underperformed for week one. And yeah, like I said, I like Phil's team too, like you mentioned. I mean, there is some guys that um aren't necessarily going to be like burst guys, like Khalil Shakir and Keenan Allen. I mean, could have some nice floor. I don't think they have a crazy ceiling compared to some of the guys that are on your side of the ball. So um yeah, I mean it just looks like it is, you know, leaning more towards you just in terms of like some of the matchups and some of like the bounce back, effect. I do think Miami at home against New England, with a pretty depleted secondary in New England. I mean, it's got to be now. If they certainly need to get it together offensively. So and I don't necessarily see a lot of guys like, I mean, Jameson Williams, can you necessarily play him as a wide receiver too? That's a question maybe that he thinks about between him and Keenan. But I think that's pretty much it. I mean, on both sides of it, I got you as well. I think you keep it rolling. I think there's some good matchups on your side, and he needs some pretty big weeks from some of his guys to kind of overcome it. I think just from a top to bottom standpoint. Let's get into Tiburon and the Bastards. Bastards slightly down projection. I know he just picked up Michael Penis in the in the waiver wire. I guess kind of tough when you see your quarterback again put up less than 10. Pretty frustrating. So I think he just kind of made the pivot move there to to a guy that, I mean, Penix was throwing it. I mean, they certainly they couldn't run the ball, so they were throwing it pretty much everywhere, Atlanta. So we'll see. At Minnesota is a tough place to play though. So we'll see. I mean, I didn't think Minnesota's defense looked that impressive until the second half against Chicago, but they're home on a Sunday night game, so we'll see. See if that plays out for him over Bo Nix. But yeah, projections are projections. Let me kind of look through this a little bit here. I mean, Hampton looked good. He just didn't get enough run, like you mentioned, kind of in that week one recap. So I do like him in a kind of a bounce back week here. Double Monday nighter, which will be kind of cool to watch. I think there's a 7 and a 10 this week.
Yeah, yeah.
So, um, Brock Bowers, I didn't hear anything outside of if he's playing or not. I mean, and he's still gonna roll with Harvey. I mean, Harvey looked solid. I mean, he had obviously that burst run. I think was like what 50 yards or something like that.
Mhm.
So I mean, he definitely looked certainly like the part. I just don't know necessarily like what other options. I mean, Cooper Cup looked horrible. and Chris Olave. I mean, he's on a dying Saints team, so he's gonna really have to hope Harvey kind of at least has some of these breakout pop moments. Just in terms of just getting points for him in terms of as a flex player. Um, and this is a coin flip too. To be honest with you,
Hmm.
it's interesting. Goddard was a little banged up too. Is he? I don't let's see. He didn't practice today. Interesting. So who would he even slot in?
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, so he would have to pick up a tight end,
Yeah.
Tiburon.
I would assume, yeah, if you're gonna drop, obviously you're gonna have to, but like you drop like, yeah, if you drop like Jaden Higgins, I guess, I mean, because he's kind of like
Yeah,
not the.
really, really. I mean, probably not too. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll see what happens there. This is tough because I do think there's some bounce back opportunity for some of his players, but I don't necessarily. This is tight. This is gonna be a tight one. I'm gonna go with Tiburon. I think Tiburon gets his first one of the year. I think this is gonna be pretty tight. Again, if I like all the matchups so far, I mean, just in terms of what I'm seeing on both sides for all of these, but now we're early in the week, so there could be, both of these guys' tight ends could be out.
True. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ryan too. This is where I'll agree and go with Ryan, just because, yeah, I like, I like both. I like his team. I mean, I like his team this week for sure. I mean, I think like James Cook might have some tough sledding at the
Yep.
Jets. Jets defense didn't look that particularly great. The pass defense didn't look that great. So playing at home, maybe the Jets step it up a little bit on defense. I think they will because those divisional games can go either way at times. So I'm not
Yep.
saying they're going to, but definitely could see that going. James Cook regresses a little bit from week one, like you said. Harvey, he's alternating series with J.K. Dobbins. It's just like tough to rely on consistent fantasy value to start. I mean, obviously, any J.K. Dobbins can go down in an injury anytime because he's very
Yep.
fragile. But it's tough to rely on that in your flex spot. You might not even need that. But I mean, obviously, he was able to withstand a pretty pathetic performance, I would say, point wise too. I mean, 99 points wasn't that great against you, but he was able to withstand that, and obviously, because you weren't scoring that many points week one. And obviously, I like Puka. It's very interesting. The Penix thing, obviously, it's like week one. I mean, yeah, he had a good week one game. I don't know. I wouldn't feel very confident starting Penix as my QB1 too, but I mean, if he goes with Trevor Lawrence, I don't think much of Trevor Lawrence either. So maybe it cancels itself out. But I feel like it's very tough to like have that him as your QB1. But like Bo Nix struggled mightily, obviously. So I get it as a Bo Nix owner in the other league that I'm in, Pino's league. It's like I get it. Trust me. And plus, you have two Denver guys in your lineup. Unless it's a receiver that you're stacking, it's tough to start Bo Nix. I wouldn't give a Bo Nix too early yet. I mean, I think he'll be pretty good. But I'll go with Ryan just because I like uh, I like Bucky Irving to have a pretty nasty game. I mean, I love Bucky Irving. I think he's a stud, obviously, as million people do. So I think he'll have a great game, and Lad's going to put up big points. And Cincinnati, I'm banking on Cincinnati to bounce back. So I'll give Ryan the edge here.
Yep. I agree. Uh, so what do we? Wait, I skipped this one. Even silly goose. Yeah, I guess I did.
Yeah, do that one, and then yours the last. I mean, your matchup
Yeah.
last. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Well, Beeve needs it.
High
This
projections
is-
again. Projections are
yeah.
high again for
Yeah.
you
One
too.
twenty six is 126 is pretty wild. I mean, Devon Achane again with a 20 point spot projection, which is pretty insane. I think the geese is pretty similar to like. I think projections are pretty solid. I mean, I could see not Kelsey not getting a 13 unless he gets in the end zone, but everyone else I can see kind of hitting it. Jameer
Yeah,
Gibbs 18 is a little high, but I think he had 15 without doing really anything last week. So
yeah,
that's tough. Yeah, this Jalen Waddle thing, that's interesting. I mean, I don't think he practiced today, did he? Oh no, he was limited. Okay. Well, looks
yeah.
like he might actually play. I mean, I don't really
But
think he has meant I mean, Quentin Johnson, I guess. I mean that just looking at what he would have to kind of do. I mean, kind of slot up there. I mean, not a crazy not a crazy good amount of options really if Waddle sits. Unless he wants
yeah,
to play Quinton Johnson. But um yeah, this is another gonna be another tight one. I mean, Arizona playing Carolina is nice. I'm sure he's like definitely likes to see that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like at
four
home.
players, four players going in this from Arizona. That's
Yeah,
wild.
huh. That's a big game.
Yeah,
That's going to determine who's going to win the matchup. Clearly, I think.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is a tight one. I mean, I think if man, if Waddle doesn't play, he's kind of hurting a little bit. I think because I mean, I even though he scored two and looked pretty good, I just wouldn't want to play Quentin Johnson. I don't trust him. But man, this is tight. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Aaron.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to go with Aaron too. Just for like it's very tight, very tight. I mean, projections obviously notwithstanding. Yeah, the Miami thing. I expect. Yeah, I obviously want Tyreek to bounce back. So like, I mean, I don't want. I personally don't want to see Waddle get all the catches if Tyreek doesn't have any. But is what it is. I feel like it's very tough. But the Arizona game is going to be maybe the determining factor in who wins the matchup. Just a gut call. I mean, obviously, I see he has ETN, in his lineup after his great performance. So yeah, it's like a lot going. Maybe in that game too, because he's got Brian Thomas Jr. So yeah, he's definitely going with that. Um, the ETN, hopefully he can continue mustering up the magic of week one. So it's interesting to see, but definitely you can go case for each team. But I'll go with Aaron here slightly.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I didn't
Well,
realize
good. And
Lloyd too, by the way. It's the Marshawn Lloyd in his IR spot. I didn't even know he drafted him. I think he probably picked him up as a free agent. Yeah, he
nah,
did.
I think he picked. Yeah, I think he scooped him. He didn't draft him, but yeah, I mean, just looking at his bench, you're right. He does have some interesting pieces on the old bench here.
All right,
I
yeah,
have
no,
just an absolutely terrible projection of 105, which I mean, it is what it is. I mean, it's just I have to. I'm probably strapped, unfortunately, to play both the Seattle running backs and just kind of pray. You know, there's points. At least maybe one of them gets in, two of them, maybe either one of them gets in. I mean, it's not necessarily ideal playing two guys, but I think in this situation with this my lack of RB depth and kind of waiting on Caleb Johnson, potentially waiting on Joe Mixon, I guess. I mean, that would be a huge boost if Joe Mixon somehow came back and was even just somewhat relevant as an RB2, and these guys work themselves out. But um, as I said, I mean, no, I know no one's going to throw me a bone, but I have receivers out the ass if anyone wants to trade. I have like four or five starting receivers. So, yeah, feel free to send me some offers. I'm definitely looking for some RB help, but it's only week two. Can't panic just yet. But I do like some of my kind of my matchups here, just in terms of my receivers. I mean, I got some thoughts to put into there, but I thought 105 was a kind of a rough projection. Not sure about the defense yet. There's some streaming options out there. I don't know if I'm going to play New England. Um, and then, I mean, on the other side, I mean, you got to imagine AJ Brown probably starts waking up a little bit. Thursday night, we got the two quarterbacks playing tomorrow, so that'll be interesting. Hopefully, Jordan Love can at least match close to what Jaden Daniels does. And Terry, hopefully McLaurin gets a kind of a subdue game. That's gonna jumpstart my week and the matchups here. Derrick Henry still scares the ever living shit out of me every time I look at this lineup, but
Yeah.
um, everybody else doesn't. Does there's not a ton of like fear factors outside of like Derrick Henry and AJ Brown, really, to me. I mean, like I said, I mean, I could see Terry catching one, but could also see him not doing much. Montgomery probably gets hits pay dirt this week. I just feel like Lions at home against the Bears. I mean, they're going to figure something out. Njoku, we'll see. I don't, that's a kind of a higher projection. And then I thought Tate McMillan for 16 was generous. I mean, they're playing at Arizona. I mean, he did look pretty good. I'll say that, but um, yeah, I mean, ten point gap. I mean, I'm going to pick Andy just based off of the fact that I have to play two Seattle running backs, but I think my receivers can carry the load potentially for me. But I think I'm definitely the underdog this week. I'll pick Andy.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you said like you touched on it, obviously two Seattle running backs. It's just I don't know. I'm sure, man, there might be a time league historians look it up if there's been a time where a manager has had to start two running backs from the same team in his lineup. I'm sure it has been true. It's definitely. I'm not saying these guys are if they're even timeshare. I mean, you can like you said, one of them can luck into it, but just you can't really feel great about about that situation playing out on your roster right now. I was like, you're this is the hand that's been dealt, so you got to deal with it. Obviously, try to make a move if need be as for a trade. But yeah, easier said than done too. I mean, obviously, looking at your bench, you really can't. There's no RBs you can really start. Rashad
Uh,
White was a pretty good PPR guy last year, despite the fact that Bucky Irving went off. But I mean, he rushed two times for 14 yards and had one catch. So like, it's like the description was pretty bleak for him. So like, just think like, oh, maybe I could start him because like he still was a kind of a PPR factor last year, despite the fact that Bucky took over. But I don't think that's possible. So yeah, it's definitely like you said too. It's like, yeah, besides Derrick Henry, um, I mean AJ Brown bouncing back. I mean, I feel like Green Bay's defense, will step up to limit Daniels a little bit. I mean, they've always routinely struggled against running quarterbacks, and Jaden Daniels has that ability to rush. So
definitely.
I'm as a Packer fan too, as you are. I would say we've got to be wary of that. But like playing at home, I think helps, and for
Definitely.
that perspective. So maybe Daniels struggles a little bit. I don't know. I have a feeling like Scary Terry's going to get at least one touchdown too. But like, I mean, just because of that situation with the Seattle running backs, I mean, it's tough to look past that. But hey, maybe Amon Ra, like I said in the recap week 1. I mean, I don't think you can't bank on him having 8 points every week. He's not going to have 8 points every week. He'll bounce back in a big way, and Jefferson as well. He'll have a monster game. I expect two big games from them. And obviously, Ibuka was great week 1. That's definitely a potential
Could
option.
still, yeah. I mean, I'm still torn. Him or Devontae. I mean, Devontae is such a large part of their offense. I do like, I like primetime players. I mean, it's a Monday night game for Tampa Bay. I just feel like, it's the kid called his shot, got 2 touchdowns last week. I feel like Baker Mayfield likes him. Um, Not to say he's the number one over Mike Evans, but so it's kind of a coin flip there between him and Adams. Um, and I mean, I'm not quite yet tempted, but I mean, as a Packer fan and just having Jordan Love, Jaden Reed's always an interesting piece if, he kind of at least starts scoring every week and is, kind of heavily involved in that red zone area. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, like I said, I definitely, I think we both agree that Andy's a little bit more balanced, obviously based off of the running back situation. So I think we're both gonna kind of agree to that. It's just, unfortunate that Caleb Johnson hype train was so high during preseason. He looked so good. Um, I hope he eventually at least gets some shares. Um, and then the Mixon news was definitely a little bit more uh, long term than anticipated when I drafted. So I mean, yeah, we'll see. There's definitely some holes in the RB spot, but I mean, I got some horses that they got to put up 20 plus. If my receivers put up 20 plus, then we can overcome anything really in terms of just the deficits there. But lots to ask, but we'll see. We'll see. Well, cool. I mean, that's
Didn't make a pick though, so I'm going to make a little bit
oh
of this,
yeah.
baby. Greenbow gets off the
Wow.
fucking schneid. Let's go.
God, do I need it? I would absolutely
Represent.
love it because right now, looking at some of these matchups and point totals and whatnot, I'm like 105 is putrid compared to, the one basically everyone's at close to 115 to 120. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I anticipate my receivers, like you said, to have some good weeks. Jefferson McCarthy kind of came alive a little bit. Not from a Packer standpoint, I want to see that, but from a fantasy standpoint, it was nice to see. Um, and yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, it's again not quite panic week, but Green Bowl is certainly feeling a little bit of heat on the ass, just because of the point total from week 1, and we're already week 2 with no injuries, but you're still kind of worried about how you're piecing your lineup together. It's not fun. So. But yeah, this was great. I'm glad Anthony could join because it's just nice to kind of put something out there for the group. Hoping to have Snyder back here at some point, in the next couple weeks here. It's always nice to have his input. Um, and yeah, hopefully periodically throughout the year we'll have different guests and definitely get Ship Lizard back on for some color commentary. So
Oh yeah.
appreciate you coming on, dude.
Yeah, no, fun stuff. Good luck to all the managers out there. Week 2. See what happens. Well, it was a great time on the pod. So looking forward to it.
All right, brother. Have a good night.
See you, man.
Peace.